What's shaking? It's good to be back for another episode where we go all in. This is Rick Jordan, and I am happy you are here today. Share this out, please, with at least 3 people that this resonates with, that you think need to hear this message today, because it's going to be powerful for you, and it's going to be powerful for other people that you know, because I know you like to help other people, and that's why you're listening to this show. Otherwise, whatever, right? Anyways, today, I'm sure you've had this, right? Where you've had those phone calls and you know that every single time this person calls you or every single time this person text messages you, it's a little baiting you, right? And they're not really asking you how you're doing to get how you're doing, right? They're only asking how you're doing just to start the conversation so they can tell you how they're doing. And those people, really, the way they want to tell you how they're doing is it's always bad. It's always negative, right? They always want to dump their problems on everything. And those individuals, when it's repetitive like that, they become very needy and leechy. Yeah, so I know you know what I'm talking about. Everybody has always experienced that in their life, to where there's this one person or people that you see their phone ring or the text message notification pop up, and you're like, oh man. It's like, do I respond to this? If you got read receipts on it, it's like, oh, no, I'm not opening it. Nope, not happening. Now, I've had these people too. I still have some of these people, right? And they're there. Eventually, if you know that's going to be that way, eventually you just like ignore them and they'll drop off. That's one method I've used before. But another method is just responding and almost like completely avoiding that specific topic. Right. Or acting as a reflector, as a mirror. So hopefully they can see exactly what they're doing, but saying, I'm here for you, but this is not something I have time for right now. It's okay to do that too. It's okay to protect your own energy when you have these people in your life. Now today I'm going to talk to you who might have those issues. Okay. You might have those problems, or you think so. And you may have some very legitimate things in your life right now. Some things that actually are real, and they're bad. They're things that are happening to you, like some issues that you have to work through, because that's life, right? We all have bad days. We all have things that happen to us, and we all also need support from other people during those times too. So I'm flipping this back around, saying that of course it's understandable. But at the beginning, I was talking about people that just do that for attention, or because they need certain things from you. They just need that validation of social contact or whatever it is. It's just an interesting scenario, right? But now I'm talking to you about when you have these bad days, right? And of course, it must be human nature or something to just want to dump on people, because I've felt like this before myself. I absolutely have. When you have problems in your life, legitimate things, there's a way, because you'll have this natural tendency to want to just dump on people. And I've had this before, right? It's like, I don't know if it's like this venting thing. I'm not a psychologist, but it's almost like when you have something bad happen, it's like you tell one person, this is probably part of the way to process too, right? You tell one person, and then even though you're like, I'm not going to tell anybody what's going on, I'm only telling you, but then you tell another person. And you keep repeating the story, and you keep repeating the story, you keep repeating the story, you keep repeating the story of this bad thing or your problem. And at some point, at the beginning, it could be this like almost grieving process, because you're working through the negative emotions because it's something legitimate that's not good that happened to you, and that's okay. And then you move into this phase to where it's like you could tell people your problems, to actually ask them for help. Like, hey, how do I fix this? Right? Is there anything that you can see that I'm not seeing, to where I can get this out of my life, to where I can move past this or whatever? And then there's a threshold. And I'm saying this with a little bit of like inflection in my voice, because there's a freaking threshold where you can cross over into those people that I was talking about at the beginning of this episode that just call you or say, how are you, just to dump on you, right? They're not actually contacting you because they want to contact you. They want to contact you for themselves, right? There's a threshold that's there. So on that one side, it's cool. It's okay, because you're processing, you're grieving. Then you can move into this phase after you've processed or allowed yourself to feel the emotions. And people, you have to allow yourself to feel the emotions. You can't bury them. because they will stay there and fester and then pop up in ways that you cannot imagine are even good, because you start to lash out on other people, because you project those, because you've suppressed those in yourself. So allow yourself to feel those emotions when something happens or a problem arises in your life. It's okay to be angry. It's okay to be frustrated. It's okay to be sad. It's okay to be even pissed at yourself because you recognize you did something, right? And then you can move into that phase to where you're thinking, all right, now I'm going to tell somebody, I'm going to ask this person, I need to tell them my problem, but I'm also going to ask them, how do I fix it? Can you help me? Can you give me a fresh perspective on this so I can move past it, right? So I can resolve it. But don't cross over to that threshold to where you're just calling people for you, not for them. All right? And here's some advice for you on this. What I'm talking about is talking about your problems can actually become an addiction. And that's when it can start to just send your life into this downward spiral. Talking about your problems, when you start telling one person to go to the next sale, the same story, there's that threshold that you cross where talking about your problems can become your greatest addiction. Instead, when you catch yourself doing this, because I have before, I've never gotten really bad at this to where it's become the addiction, but I've caught myself like, you know what? I really didn't need to talk about that or tell them that thing. I just did that one for me, right? For attention. That's all that it was I was just going after attention in that moment. And that's stupid, right? So let's back it up a little bit, and I can either ask for help getting this thing out of my life, or you can do this. You can start telling people about the joys in your life. You can tell people about the good things that are happening in your life. Because no matter how bad things are, there's always something good that you can find. Even if that good thing is buried under a pile of bad, there's still something good in your life. If you think the walls are crashing down upon you, you can't pay your rent, you don't have a job anymore, or you got fired, or your car broke down, or whatever. Maybe you have a son or a daughter that's still in your life. That's probably a good thing, right? Maybe you still have a wife or a husband that's still in your life. That's probably a good thing. Maybe you have a good church that you go to, or maybe you have a friend, a really good friend. Those are probably good things in your life, aren't they? Or maybe you even have memories. In that moment, that's the only thing that you can come up with that's good is you have memories. You still have something good in your life. So break the habit and talk about your joys, not your problems. I love you. I know you needed to hear this today. Now go all in.